Just the other week, I went up to Big Bear Lake to visit my family lake cabin for the first time in years. Growing up as a kid, I would visit this family lake house almost monthly. As I approached the end of a windy road, I was expecting my favorite part, to be able to see the beautiful lake to the left and the beautiful mountains to my right. But to my surprise, when I looked to the left, all I saw was an empty and dried out lake. As surprised as I was, I knew that there was only one reason for this problem: global warming. Global warming is the increase in global temperatures over time. Global temperatures are only continuing to get warmer and warmer. According to the U.S. Global Exchange, world temperatures are increasing by 2 degrees over the past 50 years. Yes, 2 degrees. These 2 degrees are making the world of a change. Today, I'm going to caution you about the rising effects of global warming. In order to do this, I will first talk about the issues that global warming presents, then I will talk about the causes of global warming, and finally I'll talk about some solutions to help put a stop to global warming. Let's start by talking about the problems associated with global warming. There are 2 main problems associated with global warming. I'm going to start off by talking about the extreme weather events. Extreme weather events include fires, drought, heat waves, floods, etc. According to the Los Angeles Times, global warming is only causing more and more heat waves and fires than ever before. These heat waves and fires are damaging things around us. These fires are leading to houses being lost, land being lost, and property being lost. The world cannot accept all this heat that these fires are producing either. These heat rises and these fires are only leading to more issues with global warming. The marine life is also very endangered. According to the Targeted Fed News Service, global warming has led to more than half of the marine life deaths. Think about this. Half of the marine life deaths have been caused due to global warming. Well, also think about this. How many species do you know in the marine life that have been going extinct? A lot, more than ever. Well, if global warming weren't a thing and half of these marine life deaths weren't happening, would these species still be extinct? My gut instinct is no. The sea levels are also rising. The sea levels are rising, taking away the habitat of many animals such as polar bears. During the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, it was proven that sea levels have risen over 8 inches since 1870. This is flooding areas such as Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. As 2 degrees may not seem like a lot, and 8 inches may not seem like a lot, these things are making the world of a difference. Now that I've talked about the problems associated with global warming, I'm going to move on to the causes. There are 2 main causes associated with global warming. First of all, let's talk about the air pollutants and greenhouse gases. Global warming occurs when carbon dioxide and other air pollutants and greenhouse gases collect in the atmosphere. The atmosphere can only absorb so many of these gases and pollutants. When they can't absorb any more, it is bounced off the Earth's surface, creating more and more heat on this Earth. The last years, the Earth has only been able to absorb a smaller and smaller portion of the heat. According to the National Geographic Society, there is more CO2 in the atmosphere today than any point within the past 800,000 years. The amount of CO2 in the atmosphere is only continuing to rise. Another reason for global warming is deforestation. When trees are cut down and burned or allowed to rot, their stored carbon in them releases into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. According to the U.S. Fed News Service, each person is responsible for putting over 10 tons of carbon dioxide into the air annually. Whether this is from cutting down trees, using your cars, there are so many ways that we are putting carbon dioxide into this earth. Now that we've talked about the causes, let's talk about a few ways to get rid of this carbon dioxide in our earth causing global warming. Well, according to Los Angeles Times, the damage will continue to be done as long as we refuse to act. There are no more tomorrows left. We need to act now. There's a large-scale solution and a small-scale solution to do this. Let's start by talking about the large-scale solution. Hawaii was the first to implement and rely solely on clean energy by 2045. California is trying to be the second. This is according to the Targeted Fed News Service. Well, this is a large-scale effect. Hawaii is trying to rely solely on clean energy by the year 2045. California saw that Hawaii was doing this and is following in their steps. This would be a huge step. If we're only relying on clean energy, we are reducing a ton of the pollutants that we are putting into this earth. There are also a ton of smaller scale effects that we can do to help reduce the amount of CO2 going to the atmosphere. Some of these things would include driving a battery-run car. I know that's not always an accessible option, but also be reducing the amount of plastic you use. Other things would be letting things run on electricity for less time in your house. Be aware and conscious of the gases that you're burning. These are all things that we can do ourselves to help. Today, we went over the problems causing global warming, the causes of global warming, and solutions to help global warming. I cautioned you about the rising effects of global warming. It is our job to do our part to help put an end to this major problem damaging the world around us that we live in. Think about something that you don't want to see gone. For me, it was the Big Bear Lake. And of course, I looked to my left and it was empty and dried out. That was a big awakening for me. Don't wait until your favorite places are dried out and unable to go to make a change. Change starts now.